Florida Republican Congressman Cory Mills is under investigation after Miss United States and Florida state official Lindsay Langston accused him of a revenge porn threat. According to an interview on July 14th with the police in Columbia County, Florida, 25-year-old Langston claimed Mills, who's 45, threatened to release explicit videos of her after they broke up earlier this year. She also alleges the last communication she had with him was in June when Mills messaged her, quote, "I hope you hold your crown till the end."
Mills denies these allegations in a statement to Hill reporter Emily Brooks. He writes that the claims are, quote, false and misrepresent the nature of my interactions. Mills also called out Langton's lawyer, Anthony Sabatini, who did run against Mills in a 2022 congressional race and lost. Joining us now to unpack this is the Hill's Emily Brooks. Nice to see you, Emily.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, let's get right into it. Can you be more specific about what the accusation actually is?
Yeah, so this is a lot of really messy personal accusations here. So Lindsay Langston, the current reigning Miss United States and Republican official in California on the party committee, says that several years ago she entered into a romantic relationship with Congressman Cory Mills, and after he told her that his divorce was finalized, she moved in with him in his Florida residence. Now, back in Washington, D.C., at that residence, a separate residence that he had, earlier this year, there was reports that came out that another woman he was allegedly in a romantic relationship with had called police and said that there was a physical altercation. Both of them later denied that a physical altercation took place. But Lindsay Langston saw those reports, and essentially after that, then their relationship ended. After that, she says that she's gotten a lot of messages from Cory Mills threatening to release some sexual videos and images that he has of her, and threatening to get into physical confrontations with potential future boyfriends that Lindsay Langston might have. So she went to police and told them about these allegations. It's documented in a police report. This has been forwarded up from that county sheriff's department to the state law enforcement agency, which said it had received that police incident report and allegations and declined to comment further on the matter. So Cory Mills is denying that this is exactly what happened, and saying that he's not going to comment further on this time, but certainly very salacious, messy situation here.
Emily, this is messy. This sounds like a soap opera. So I want to know, like, with the political attack that he's calling this, how do you weigh his stance against the information or so-called proof, alleged proof that you have already to prove that it's even worth telling the story and not a political attack?
Well, when you have somebody go to a police station and give an interview, I mean, that's pretty weighty consideration when you're talking about allegations of this nature. And you have law enforcement considering these allegations, looking at it. That's, pretty notable. That's worth reporting on. We have to report that. Now, Anthony Sabatini did run against Cory Mills in 2022 in the Republican primary for that seat. And I remember covering that race and talking to both of these men at that time in 2022. So it's very, Florida politics, that these things just keep on, these relationships keep on evolving in sometimes nasty ways. Now, Anthony Sabatini, did say, look at the text messages, look at this report. I'm not mentioned in this. And so he's saying that this isn't a political attack, as Cory Mills is alleging. He gave to me some screenshots of that messages that Cory Mills allegedly sent, and he has posted those on social media as well. They say things like, give me his number and I can send him videos. Obviously, we haven't necessarily authenticated those, but these are the allegations and they line up with what Lindsay Langston did tell police, which is pretty weighty. So This is what we have. This is a very messy situation, a lot of high tensions and bad blood from past political battles. Anthony Sabatini is calling on Cory Mills to resign from Congress over this. It's, very heightened tensions.
Right, and given this is all, Republican on Republican disagreement, will what steps, how are other Republican officials treating this? Is it possible that Cory Mills is disciplined by some kind of losing, committee or being suspended from committee responsibilities or things of that nature?
I haven't heard about Republicans in Congress taking it that far now. Now, Cory Mills is also subject to a House Ethics Committee investigation over campaign finance issues from 2022. That investigation is still open. House Ethics Committee tends to drag along, and these things take forever before we ever see anything. In very rare instances, it has been where we've seen them move quickly, most notably in the instance of former Congressman George Santos, when it was very rare that the House Ethics Committee did release a report about him, and then the House voted to expel him before he was ever tried or convicted. Now, of course, Cory Mills, it's very important to say, has not been charged with a crime and has not been charged with anything. And so that's usually the first step before a congressman is ever disciplined, taken off of committees, or even removed from the House or resigns. And even when congressmen have been indicted before they are convicted, they, in the past, historically, have continued to serve in Congress, even if at that point maybe they're not on committees. But because Cory Mills has not been charged with any crimes, nothing has happened yet. Also, Congress is out on recess right now. We'll see if this affects anything when he gets back.
And does this raise any larger questions about things like digital abuse overall for Congress to look at, or power dynamics, or even the potential misuse of intimate materials? I know these subjects have been brought up over the recent years, specifically through Congress. So do you think that this is going to continue to elevate those conversations?
Because I think in some municipalities, I think it depends what the state of even like doing revenge porn is, whether it's illegal, but maybe threatening to do it is always going to be something that law enforcement takes seriously. I know it's an issue that is still being discussed, at least at the federal level.
Yeah, there is a lot of speculation about whether this, if found to be accurate, could violate any of those statutes. There were also other reports, people who broke this story at Blaze News and at Dropsite News were pointing to the federal Take It Down Act, which President Trump signed into law, which is like an anti-revenge porn type of law, and whether Cory Mills could be subject to that. But I'm not a legal expert. I'm not sure whether that could be subject to anything. Also, this is very fresh allegations, very early in the process. Cory Mills is still denying that is exactly what's happening. So we'll see how the investigation progresses in Florida.
We suppose we shall. Emily Brooks, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
More Rising right after this. Stay with us.